Okay, welcome to City Council work session on Monday, July 19th, 2021. Please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Scaringi.
Present.
Councilwoman Riley. Councilwoman Friedman.
Present.
Councilman Strawn. Councilman Strawn.
Present.
Councilman Burns.
Present.
Councilman Scanlon.
Present.
President Rosanetti.
Present.
All right, that's 6 here, 1 absent. Riley.
Okay, thank you. So before we begin, we have some required notifications. Please note that the City Council abides by New York State the requirement that unvaccinated individuals continue to wear masks indoors and remain at a 6-foot social distance, which includes in City Hall and in public meetings like this. If you're vaccinated, you do not have to wear the mask during this public meeting or social distance. However, if you appear ill or present any COVID or present any COVID-19 symptoms, staff may ask you to leave distance or wear a mask regardless of your vaccination status. This meeting will be recorded with video audio. Members of the council present in person. Okay. So we have Pat here. Pat Guinness reports for RL 21-137. Yes, no. Okay. Is somebody covering for him? All right. Let's move on to the next one, see if he shows up. We have Mr. Blake next. How are you? Come right up. Tell us about, well, actually, Ron, can we start with a little bit of a discussion regarding the council chambers? We're all a little curious about, what is going on. We're certainly anxious to get in, and I was hoping that you will talk to us a little bit about what's going on. Now, I'm certainly not anybody who understands construction, but I did stick my head up there earlier today because we're getting things happening. So tell me a little bit about that.
The council chambers, we have gone out and got prices, ready to roll. What's got happened is the ceiling has been some deterioration of some of these tiles. If they fall, it's asbestos. So it's it really is a safety issue. So you need to do that work. It's leaking because the copper has got pinholes in it. So that roof needs to be replaced also. Probably will take 6 to 8 weeks to start.
What did you think it did, or has it started?
It has not started. I think the night that we have funded it, as soon as I fund it,
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, I appreciate that. Can't wait till it's, there you go.
I know, we'll get it as soon as we
Thank you. All right, so tell us a
As
little
soon as I have to work it off, contractors and all that.
appreciate that. So tell us a little bit about RL 21-1.
Okay, that's, there was testing required after completion of the CSOs to make sure that what had happened is there was an agreement between Binghamton and Johnson City that each one would be after that testing cost. And for whatever reason, they could not fund our portion. Johnson City is giving their portion, just to do ours with the testing cost.
Do we have any questions? I'll also see that. Oh, never mind. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. And next to, on to the next one. 141.
That is for the new fire station. That was required because of the boards came back. Some of them were showing material, no material, there is things like wood and stuff. So they needed to go in with an actual and do some excavation to ensure that it gets put in the ground.
Any questions? Okay. All right, 142.
And the next one was that we just needed to pick up some more doing stuff. So that was it. $1,900, which is for some additional survey costs. Okay, so whole population, whatnot.
Any questions? Thank you. Is it on? Is it mic on?
He's very soft spoken.
All right, thank you. Okay, do we have Charlie here? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. If I can ask IT or the clerk's office, is that speaker like a feedback speaker for us, like a receiver, so we can hear what people? Oh, okay.
There are two speakers, one towards you, one towards the, Charlie, press the button on your mic.
Oh, I got a green light.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, yes. So RL 21-150.
Good evening. I'm here. The board has requested a transfer of funds. So we're asking the owners to make legislation to transfer appropriations out of contingency for $50,000 and into our permits, fines, and penalties line. This was mandated back in 2019, third modification consent order. It is going to be handed over directly to Vestal. They're doing an environmental benefit program on Fuller Hollow Creek. So this will help the plant as our outflow combines with Fuller Hollow Creek. And as said, this was a result of the BAF not being completed on time. So the DEC had mandated this. It's just, it's getting to the stage where we're ready to transfer funds.
Are there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Chuck, you are up next.
Okay, I'll try to do Pat. I think he's out on
Say that
vacation.
again?
I said I'll try to do Pat's here because I think he's out on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he must not, forgot
All
to
right.
tell somebody.
So we're going back to 21-137. correct?
137, yes. This is to accept a donation of labor from Fresh Coat 607 for the repair and painting of the Rod Sterling bandstand, where this group's going to come and paint it and not charge the city, but we need to come out and ask for the donation.
And it's expedited,
Sure.
correct?
Might as well get it done before summer's over.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Moving on to RL 21-149.
It's a similar type donation, $5,000 from Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation to support Parks and Recreation Program. They're basically supplying supplies, balls, bats, things of that nature.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. So now we'll go back to RL 21-138.
138 and 139 are very similar transaction. It's been a problem in the city for before my time here, where the home program income and the CDBG program income never met what HUD thought they were. I spent many years trying to figure it out, got it closer. We hired a person that's done this before. He's come in and worked with HUD and the information we had, and we had a auditor that was paid for by HUD come in and review the data that we have. And basically for the home program, they want to reduce program income and other federal aid by $345,000. And on the CDBG side, they're going to increase program income by about 186,000. Between the two of them, we're losing roughly the difference of about $170,000 in program income. Just putting some in, taking some out of home and some in the CDBG. But there's two different transactions to do this. This will make this balance to what HUD has in their system. There's a variety of different reasons. I can't tell you any one specific reason. There's all kinds of things that we did not do properly over the years that this is correcting.
Does anyone have any questions?
Chuck, you said it took a number of years to correct this. What the problem stem from? I mean, was it something you did?
No, this was all prior to me getting here. This was done prior to 2014, prior to this administration.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So RL 21-144. Yes, 144.
Okay. This is to amend the 21 engineering budget. Basically, Ron had a unfunded position and he had a position that, an administrative position that left. And basically, he'd rather hire a engineer tech rather than another clerical person inside. So this is moving money around to do that. We're not actually spending any more money. We're just transferring it between defunding one position and funding another.
Questions? Thank you. Next one, 146.
146, a police car was in an accident and the car was totaled, and our corp counsel was able to obtain $10,000 in fees from their insurance company. That's what they carried. So we got that $10,000 check from the insurance company, and we're putting it back into another vehicle line. So in the future, the police could buy another vehicle as they build up. 10,000 is not going to get them one, but at least it's there to be used at what they lost.
RL 21-147.
147 is a resolution putting together all the CHIPS money that the city's going to receive. The first amount of $623,201 is additional CHIPS money that this, when we did the budget, we expected 1.2. We're actually getting $1,823,201.02. So we're increasing that budget line by that $623,000 that the state's given us in additional funds. On top of that, we received another program of CHIPS money called the touring program that's for selected streets. That's increasing by $1,542,784.04. So we have a lot of state funds to do some road work.
Any questions? Thank you. Next one, RL 41-1.
This next one is a resolution giving the mayor authority to enter into an agreement with Bonadil. They are our accounting firm. It's a multi-year agreement to assist us in compliance and reporting on all the ARPA funds. Example being, they're working with me right now on figuring out what our lost revenue is supposed to be. Rules have been changing, and before I give you the final number, I want to make sure that they agree with it. And they're going to help us in the compliance part of it also. And we have to quarterly report how we spend the money. That will assist us in getting that done. And this is a 3-year program.
I have a question. I have a question.
Councilman Burns?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, Chuck, so they're going to be helping throughout the period that we're supposed to be spending this money in a 3 or 4 year period. So they're going to be around. Are they going to be the experts on what the money can be spent on?
They're going to be helpful in getting that, yes.
Okay.
Okay, as well as the reporting that's required on it. So making sure that we're in compliance of what we're capable of doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilwoman Freeman, do you have a question?
Thank you, Madam President. this money is coming out of CARES or ARPA?
This one's coming out of the stimulus funds, I believe. Let me just verify that.
Okay.
Yes, it's coming out of the stimulus funds, which it's eligible for.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to 154.
154. This one is to use $2 million of the fund balance to help support the fire station. Originally, we came in and anticipated the total cost of the fire station, which is the design as well as the construction, to be 8.5. We received numbers in last Wednesday, I believe, or the Wednesday before, it must have been last Wednesday. And the numbers are coming in right now at 9.2 million for everything. I've added $300,000 for potential change orders. Okay, so the maximum cost of this project would be 9.5 million. We borrowed 8.5 million. We are not borrowing 8.5 million going forward. We're going to use $1 million of fund balance to cover the extra cost and $1 million so we don't borrow as much, so that in the end, the taxpayers have a lower burden going forward with this fire station.
Chuck, why the increase? What's causing the increase?
I think it's all the things out there with the shortage of materials, whether it's lumber, steel, labor for that matter, is all causing the increase in the price. I think we're going to see that across the board with every project we do.
Any questions?
Chuck, so what does that leave in our fund balance as far as the unencumbered money? If we're taking another $1 million out. I know we were just made full by the COVID money.
Well, I haven't moved that money over yet, okay? We originally thought that is $6 million. I will tell you, I believe it's higher than that.
Okay.
Significantly higher, I think, okay? That's why I pulled it, because going through Bonadil and them looking at it, I didn't want to do something that was not the right thing to do. But if you use our 20 million, subtract basically 2.5 million is what we've used so far this year, taking this 2 million out, so that would be 17.5. It's going to be higher than that after we do the lost revenue.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, last one here for Chuck, RL 21-155.
This is to pay for the City Hall roof over there that we talked about, of $659,000. We are, from everything that we've been able to get from different organizations, this qualifies for stimulus because it's the only real open space that we have. It's been shut down. In order to open it up, this is a cost. So that's the approach we're taking with this, that we're going to use stimulus money to fix that, so that we have an open space meeting for these meetings as well as others. I have, Ron, what is it, 639,000, 20,000 for
I have two questions. One to go back. When you say that we were going to be 6 million short, that we were going to take 6 million out of the COVID money, and you're saying that it's going to be significantly higher. What is significantly higher? Just in rough terms.
I would say 10 to 12.
Up to 10 to 12 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes. So the spending the money, the stimulus money on the roof, even though I guess this is why we're asking experts to come in, but even though the roof project was gone forward before COVID hit, we had approved this roof project.
I don't believe we did.
No?
No, this happened after COVID, the actual problem that we have right now.
Oh, that's the problem that we have right now. I see.
We
Okay.
had another problem before COVID where there's drainage in, we fixed that part of it.
Okay. Okay. But, so we're saying that because we need the open space or social distancing or something, is that what we're saying? Is that why we're going to use the stimulus money?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? Thank you, Chuck.
I think I'm done, right?
Yes, you are. All right, so next we have Ken. Ken Rank.
So I believe this first one is transferring money within the insurance fund from provision for incurred loss into legal services. Periodically, we hire outside attorneys for their expertise. Right now, in particular, the reason we have so much expense in outside attorneys is that myself and Attorney Sorkin are actually fact witnesses in many of these litigations. We're the people who did the investigation, so we're the fact people. So we can't represent ourselves. We're going to outside counsel. This year, the bills are very high. We haven't paid much in incurred losses. So at the moment, we're able to transfer that money into legal fees.
Questions? Thank you, Ken. Next one is Earl 11-45.
The second one is just a quick update of the code, or actually a confirmation. There have been some questions regarding this section of the code recently, and I just want to make sure we're reaffirming its original intent.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think Jared is here, so I can have Megan. Hi, Megan. All right, so we have RL 21-151.
Yes. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So if I could do 151 and 152 together, since they're related, we are asking to, we're asking that you please consider expediting these. These RLs are to support the city's partnership with Greater Opportunities for Broome and Shenango to rehabilitate 4 boarded up properties on the north side. If you remember, this is the project that will create 27 units of permanent supportive housing for families and individuals facing homelessness. It was announced in late 2019, a few months before COVID. With the increased construction costs we're seeing sort of across the board, as Chuck mentioned, the total cost is higher than Greater Opportunities anticipated, and they were facing a funding shortfall. So these 2 RLs are to allocate funding to fill that shortfall and allow the project to move forward without further delays. So RL 21-152 amends the city's agreement with Greater Opportunities and allocates $275,000 in home funding for the project. And then 151 allocates to about $258,000 of federal stimulus money to the same project.
Any questions? Thank you. And there's one more.
Yes.
Great, correct?
Yep, 153. So this is to extend the agreement between the city and the school district for school resource officers. Council last approved the agreement, I believe, in September 2020. There haven't been any changes to the agreement beyond the dates. So this is for the 21-22 school year.
Questions?
Thank you, Madam President. So I know I asked this last time we were discussing this, but I, at this point, don't remember off the top of my head. This is approved once a year, or this is an extension of the existing contract?
This is an extension of the existing contract for one more school year.
Okay, and do we do this do we extend the contract, or do we usually create a new contract?
I believe we normally extend it. I think that's what we did last year.
Okay, and how long have we been extending it for? Like, when was the initial contract?
So the high school one dates back several years. And there's one school resource officer in the high school, and more recently, one in each of the middle schools. The one in the high school was the original and dates back several years. The one for the middle schools, I think, came under this administration, but pretty early on.
Okay, so the initial contract for both of those, whenever they were at different times, but they were both for a year initially, and we've been extending it for 1 year since, ever since then?
I believe so, but I'm not positive. I think.
No, that's correct.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Megan, for coming down tonight. I know we've been doing these one-year respective extensions for a while, but just hypothetically speaking, if there is support in the school district, Binghamton City Hall, in the community, do we hypothetically need to continue to do one-year extensions? Could something hypothetically like a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract, or is there something from any perspective that requires it continually to be 1 year?
I would imagine that we could. We do this sort of at the request of the school district, and I
Right.
think it's under their terms that it's year by year.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would be possible.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're moving on to,
It looks like we have 7 on the pending legislation. Does anybody have any questions on those?
anything else?
Motion to adjourn, Madam President?
Second.